ahead and talk while I confirm the details.
All right. Yes,
boy.
I recognize that sound anywhere.
That looks live.
Honestly, I'm thinking about replacing my alarm clock noise with just a clip of you making that because I just feel on when I hear it. Right?
It pumps you up. It pumps you up.
Yeah, exactly. Like I could probably cut out my morning coffee if I just switch my alarm sound. So I'll report back.
Yeah.
It's not a bad tactic. Yeah.
All right, you guys ready? You ready for another one?
Oh, I'm ready.
I mean, I think we're going to survive. I think we'll be okay.
It's like we often say, we don't call the show Heroes Live.
No.
Nah, but this time we will.
I don't know that you're heroes. Let's put it. I mean, that's always a good defense.
That's why we're not going to live. But hey, you know.
This is Tobin's last job before retirement, so I'm pretty sure he's fine. That's a good sign. I'm pretty sure
that always bodes well.
I mean, I'm sitting here with I got 51 hit points that say I'm going to live. So
there we go. That's a high
you
level.
only need the last one, right? I mean, one hit point does all the lifting. The other 50 are just to show off.
They're just padding.
Yeah.
Like I'm covered in pillows, like that one episode of Community.
Oh exactly. Yeah.
Yes. Hello out there, internet folks.
Oh, right.
All right, there's an audience. Hi.
Yes. That's because of the Go Live sound. I know you're out there. Otherwise, I'd have no idea. But that's another one of the benefits. So hello. And welcome back, friend that was recruited last time. I'm glad to see you again. I'm really glad that you showed up.
Cats and dogs, too. I see you're back.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Looks like Scrap got a new collar. I like that. It looks good. Matches his eyes. Yeah. Oh. But hello, everyone, and welcome to the Heroes Die Show in our second episode of our mini-series, Chains of Tyranny, Episode 2. Yes. Hello, I'm Josh, and I'll be your Dungeon Master. Once again, enjoying the big box provided with all the power. Yeah, exactly. Fear me. It's nice. I'm getting used to it. And so, yeah, I'm gonna really enjoy this. And I'm joined by our awesome cast who go ahead and introduce yourself and remind us of both characters that you'll be playing.
So I'm Jason, banished to the small box and honestly kind of enjoying it. Today I am playing Tobin. So Tobin is a smuggler and a thief who has decided to take on one last job before retiring, and he's doing it in this Chains of Tyranny series. And I'm pretty sure, I've got a good feeling that everything's gonna go really well. And I brought along. He also has a companion, goes by the name of Kyra the Unburnt. Somewhat ironic. A somewhat ironic name considering how many burn scars this woman has all over her, but she is a sorcerer and she is a minion out of the MCDM, or not minion, I'm sorry, a retainer out of the MCDM Retainers rules. If you want to check that out, or if you want to learn more about those, check out the Flea Mortals book. It's pretty good. It's got some good rules.
Yeah, and I'm Andrew, also known online as Solston. I'll be playing Merrick, the Dragonborn Rune Knight fighter. You know, just a guy doing his thing. He's got tattoos to make his fists all magic punchy, and he does a little bit of smithing, but that's mainly a cover for his smuggling career. He's also joined by a 5'6", maybe dwarf, maybe human. If you ask him about it, he'll tell you to mind your own business. But he's named Gordon, and just think in your mind Ron Swanson, but as a druid.
Yeah, with a shillelagh. If you don't see Ron Swanson with a shillelagh normally, that's your problem, right?
He's got a penchant for woodworking.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he would obviously prefer a firearm, right? Like that would be his first weapon. But in a D&D setting, he's definitely a chunk of wood seems like the most fitting weapon for him. Well, because it wasn't sculpted hunk of wood, I should say.
It wasn't manufactured, therefore it doesn't participate in capitalism. Therefore, it's not controlled by the government, and he appreciates that.
Of course.
Yeah. That's why he's a criminal.
Yes, and we are battling all sorts of authoritarian government type forces here as as we see the competition for control of Eurosa. And I'm going to give a nice little recap in just a second, but want to take a moment just to say our thank yous. So first of all, thank you out there, whoever's hearing my voice right now, for watching, listening, participating, intaking the wonderful story. It's super fun to play. We would do it no matter what, but getting to share it just adds something that is it's not something I can even describe. So thank you for participating. Thank you for watching. I also want to give a big thank you to my 2 players who are joining me here today. Greatly appreciate you telling this story with me, joining me for this mini series. It's a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see what you do next. I want to give a thank you to Tabletop Audio over at tabletopaudio.com. They're going to be providing the music that you will be hearing throughout our series. It's free. I strongly recommend that you go check it out, click around, find some tunes that you want to bring to your table and your games. The depth that it adds, adding that extra soundtrack level to it, makes the game that much more fun. So go check out Tabletop Audio. And last and certainly not least, I want to give a thank you to all the 5e creators out there who make all the cool stuff that we get to incorporate. And yes, a special shout out to the MCDM folks and their Flea Mortals book, as we have used their retainer rules, and it's makes the series possible. Look, I got 2 players here. Anyone you talk to online says, that's not enough. It is. You just got to know where to find the resources, and MCDM has them for you. So go check out their Flea Mortals book and check out all kinds of 5e creations out there. There is so much cool stuff that is made to put into your game. You just got to go find it. So check out your content creators out there. So we're going to head off to an intro video, and then we will recap and we will get back into it. So I will see you in just a moment.
Ah, old friend, you're here again. So glad you could stop by. Come, sit a while and let's begin. The tale of heroes die. In distant lands are stories made with villains most despised. A tale of magic, strength, and blade, of camaraderie and lies. It's one I know quite well, you see. Perhaps you'll find out why. The legends and the histories remember. Heroes die.
Okay, folks. Sorry. We are
There it
back,
There
and
it is.
people can even hear you all. So it's
wow.
Beautiful.
Who was that
Beautiful.
handsome voiced devil in the intro video there?
could have been anyone.
You know what? I wish I knew. Somebody made that. I don't remember where. No, everybody, I just want to give another big thank you to
understand who could have possibly done something of that nature.
The impeccable Andrew and his voice acting work. Friend of the show. He was in our By Any Means series, but you hear him each and every week that you watch this show. Like, he is always integrated into everything we're doing.
Always watching.
That's it. That's it. So yes, our wonderful voice actor friend here. Want to say a big thank you for that.
Anytime.
Let
Absolutely
me see
anytime.
if I can now punish your character for simply existing in our
Do
world.
it. I dare you.
As a thank
I'm ready.
you.
I will thank you.
So when we began our series, I'm going to say when we last had our series, but yes, in episode 1 of Chains of Tyranny, the crew had just returned for doing a job for a woman named Danelle, who runs the House of Entertainment, we'll call it, known as the Manoir, located in Eurosa. And they were returning with the loot that Danelle had requested when they saw that the city had seemed to come under some recent turmoil. You see, in Eurosa, there was scheduled to be a sanctioned fight for control of the city. Not a civil war, mind you. There was plenty of brawls breaking out in the street. This was going to be a sanctioned, coordinated fight where Danelle chose her champion, and her rival, owner of another house of entertainment, as we're calling them, known as the Hole, or short for the House of Luxury and Leisure, a man named Fauchen had chosen his champion. While Danelle's champion persevered, Fauchen didn't honor that, being the respectable, upstanding crime boss that he is, and their forces had boiled up with tension. They had been fighting for a long time, but it erupted into riots, turmoil, battling in the streets, until it rose to the point where it got notice of the Crown's Guard, who sent out their men and placed the city under martial law, heavy lockdown. And that's around the time where our party had arrived back into the city. Laying low for a few days and waiting for at least the initial tension to die down, they made their way to the manoir to meet with Danelle. After handing off the ill-gotten gains from their last job, Danelle said that she had one more mission for them, to bring them the head of Fauchen, believing that being able to display that the rival had been thwarted, that his men would give up their arms, realize that they were in a losing fight, and that would put an end to the unrest and get the Crown's Guard to go away so she could rule her city. It's extra hard to move around in a city that's under martial law, but our smuggler crew managed to persevere. They were told that Fauchen was believed to be somewhere in the city, though nobody knew where exactly, and there might be some leads that the Crown's Guard had already picked up and had arrested just outside of town. So this crew decided they were going to go speak with a forger by the name of Enna to get writs that would allow them to pass through the gates despite the lockdown. In their meeting with Enna, they got some shady vibes from a shady gnome and went on to put some pressure and interrogate, charm, intimidate, deception, a little bit of all the things you could do to try to manipulate somebody, and got some information that maybe Fauchen was located in the graveyard. But either way, Enna wasn't really too much of the chatty type. Come back at night, I'll give you your passes, you give me gold, and we'll call it a day. As they exited Enna's, waiting for nightfall so they could pick up their passes, they came across two guards who had some questions for them. The crew led the guards into an alleyway and dispatched of both of them. They laid low in a safe house after hiding the bodies of the guards and went to meet back with Enna. They made the deal, gave up the gold, got their passes, but something just still didn't seem right. And they managed to track someone leaving Enna's shortly after them, who was having a conversation with some Crown's Guard, until they found the potential of some double crossing on the side of Enna, and decided to follow where that message was going. Through some work of Hootie the Familiar, they were able to watch as a cloaked figure, after speaking with the guard who got Enna's word, went into the graveyard, into a mausoleum, and said a passphrase while touching a stone sarcophagus, leading to a hidden entrance. So after waiting a little bit of time, the crew went down through that entrance, found a hidden room, and moved a heavy stone door, awaking two figures on the other side, and hearing footsteps coming from deeper within. And I believe that's where we left off. Is there anything else? All right.
We're down in the other hole.
Very thorough.
Yeah, you are down in the other hole. And
I think we're getting ready to do some.
We're gonna
do some work with blades in the dark.
Essentially, right? So yes, I'm gonna go ahead and just roll some initiative, because as we began, you were moving that stone door, and you heard what's that? And what's happening? You heard the two figures sitting on the cots beginning to rouse as you were saying, "Let's not wait. Let's charge in while we have the moment of surprise." And we're all gonna roll some initiative.
Tobin and Co get a 19.
Ooh. Oh, right. We're only rolling initiative for ourselves. They just share ours. That is going to be
they can go before or after, as a reminder.
Right. That is a 17 for Merrick and Gordon.
All right. All right, Tobin, you are up first. So just to set the scene, it is relatively dark. I think you said that you were holding your lantern in one hand and a sword in the other. Is that still accurate?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so you can still, no disadvantage, but it is otherwise dark in that room, but your lantern does provide some ambient light, particularly because of how dark and relatively enclosed it is. You can see the two figures, but can't quite make them out as they're rustling under blankets and still getting up.
Great. The two in the bed, are they surprised? Or I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. So Tobin's gonna run over to the first one and just stab in.
So as you get a little bit closer, you approach the two beds, and the beds are relatively close to one another. There is an older-looking man, is one of the figures in the bed. You don't recognize him. The other man, as you kind of like look over and just take in your surroundings, the other man, you at first think, I don't know who this is either. But as you take another second, you recognize he's missing his signature dirty mustache, but that is Falchion. But his mustache is completely gone.
Do either of them have weapons?
No, they're both barely out of their blankets, but still prone. Even they haven't even gotten up as they're.
Great. I will.
So do you have a preference of old man or Falchion? They're both equidistant.
For sure. I'm gonna go to Falchion. I'm gonna pull him out, not let him out of bed. But I'm gonna put the sword right on his neck. And I'm gonna say, everybody puts down their weapons or you're dead. And that's my move.
All right. Next up, we got Merrick. I take that back. Would you like Kyra to do something?
Yeah, so Kyra's gonna grab her a little ball of fire, and she's gonna hold an action really menacingly. That if anyone makes an aggressive move, firebolt.
Great. All right. So Merrick, you're up, or Merrick/Gordon.
Okay. Yeah, Merrick's gonna go first. What kind of reaction is there? I've got 120-foot dark vision. What kind of reaction is there from that threat on Falchion? Or on mustacheless, maybe Falchion?
Right. So the Falchion figure looks petrified. Not like the status condition, but just he is frozen in fear. And he is not really doing much reacting, but just a look of shock on his face in this moment when the sword touches against his neck. The old man still seems to be rustling with his blankets, and he's starting to sit up, but not necessarily in a aggressive manner, but just what is going on type look on his face.
Okay. And then we heard footsteps approaching from both sides or one particular side?
It's hard to tell, but...
Is there a door?
There's a door on either side, so like a door to your left, a door to your right, and then a little bit deeper into the room. It's about, let's say, another 10 feet into the room or where the two cots are, but it's almost like right when you enter the room on your left and your right, there are doors, and the room is about, let's say, like 15 by 15.
Okay. So Merrick's just going to look at Gordon behind him.
Gord, you take that door. I'll take this one.
And I'm gonna... How much distance would it be to go to the old man and then to the closest door to me? If I were to say, drag the old man in a headlock toward the door.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely doable. It's not
Perfect.
Too big of a room. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and make a grapple check.
Absolutely. So that is going to be my athletics. Natural 20 for a 27.
Yeah, I got a 4. Yeah, you got him. And this old man, I'm not going to spoil his stats, but not the best at getting out of a grapple with either of them. So
You never know. Master Roshi exists. So,
that's true.
So
But,
Merrick's just going to head over to the bed and basically just arm around the neck and kind of just scoop up the old man's head. Definitely, with the neck here, not here, we're going to, chokehold, not break the trachea. And then gonna just pull him towards the door.
No funny business, old man.
I promise. I promise.
Not one joke.
I don't even know one.
You're on thin ice, buddy.
That's... and then, just sending Gordon to head on over to basically try and stop that other door from being opened, or at the very least, be an aggressor to anyone who comes through.
All right. And they are surprised, but I will give them some... the old man doesn't react. Once you have that little exchange and you have him where you want him, he just shuts up. Fauchin, on the other hand, but now wait, I don't know what it is you think you're doing here, but I think we can come to an arrangement. Let's just talk about this. You know me, everybody knows I'm a talker.
Gonna try and get him so he's up against the wall with just the sword point right there.
Yeah, let's just be rational and reasonable about this. Yeah. You hear the footsteps getting a little bit closer. They seem to be scurrying. And, let's see. The door near you, Merrick, begins to open.
Okay. Does it open inward into the room or outward? Because I'm kind of like pressed up to it.
The other way. Yeah, it's opening into the room, like the person's pulling the door towards them.
Okay.
Into the room that they are in.
Hey. I'm just there, old guy in a headlock.
You see a cloaked figure as the door finishes opening, and it looks up, and it's still dark. You have dark vision. I was going to say there's no light going to the room, but you see clearly. It looks like an elven woman, an elf, but it's a little hard to see because the cloak is still up. But now that you're looking kind of head on instead of like from a distance, it does look like there's, and it's an elf woman that's behind that cloak. Ooh, what's going on here?
Just stay calm and no one else has to get hurt.
Oh, okay. And she looks into the room and sees Fauchin with the dagger to him or the sword to him and just, I'd really rather you didn't do that.
Why is that?
I haven't even gotten a chance to use the prize I got off of him.
Well, everybody just comes into the room, puts down their weapons, and we can have a perfectly civil conversation about it. Oh, shit, he's from Texas, sorry. Y'all just stay calm, come into the room, and we can have a conversation real civil-like, you hear?
Well, I have to say that I really like the sound of that idea, considering, so far as I can tell, the only ones holding weapons are you. So if I could get you to put those down, sure, I agree. Let's talk.
I reckon this ain't the time to be getting smart, little lady.
Oh, if only I could help it. If only I could help it. But yes, welcome. Yes, have a seat. We can talk about anything you'd like.
Does this voice sound familiar?
It does not.
Okay, good.
So I take it you're probably the owner of this actual place, huh?
Yes, this is my home, my workspace, my whole world, really. His name's Nerone. Pleasure to meet you.
I'd shake your hand, but got an old guy.
Oh, I understand. And to be clear, I don't have a particular use for that one, so make of him what you will.
You're not a wizard, are you?
I was gonna make a joke, but no, I'm not. I'm not a wizard, and I have no humor.
What was her name? Sorry, did you say her name?
Nerone was the woman's name.
Nerone.
And you were asking the old man. You're not a wizard, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Just eyeing the woman, or actually letting Hootie eye the woman. Is she carrying any weapons?
So as she comes in, she takes her hood off, and she doesn't seem to have. She's wearing like a cloak, like a tunic with a hood, essentially. It's flowy at the bottom, but she doesn't seem to have anything in her hands, and there's no obvious like equipment that she's carrying. That being said, you do notice when you look at her, she is an elf, but there's something different about her, and it takes you a moment to realize it's not often you see old elves. They're so timeless with their smooth skin and just kind of their way of being hundreds of years old and looking not a day over 30 at worst. But she seems wrinkly. She seems not decrepit, but certainly aged. That being said, her eyes are youthful, a bright green, but her skin and just her features look experienced, we'll say. We'll be really polite, but she old. She steps into the room. Now, if you would like to talk, I'm happy to hear any arrangements that you might want, and essentially I just don't know what help I might be able to offer you fine folk, or what you might have to do with my current house guests.
Well, we don't need all of them.
Sorry, you go ahead, Merrick. I didn't mean to step on you.
It's all right. We don't need all of them. Just his head. Unless you got a better offer.
Well, I don't know if I have anything particularly worthy, though I was planning on having some real fun with that one. And, I mean,
you can give him a ride before we kill him. I don't care.
She reaches into her cloak, like moves it over and reaches into a pocket and pulls out a little vial, and in it is a bunch of wiry brown hair that you presume to be Fountain's mustache. And like, I traded for this, and now you're just going to take away the toy before I even get to do anything. Easy come, easy go, I suppose.
I gotta say, Nerone, I got myself a couple questions here. Starting with what, and followed up by the fuck.
I mean, I don't know much about magic, but I didn't know that a Lemmy was a component.
Well, when something is a part of someone, it has some power over them. A lock of hair, let's say. Similarly, a prized possession can give you power over somebody. Now, when your prized possession is locks of hair, well, that opens up all sorts of possibilities. And, I was onto something. I know I was.
Now, are you telling me that this one belongs to you for some reason?
Oh, no. It's nothing like that. We made a trade, you see. I've done some business dealings with some friends of his friends or something along those lines before, but when they came to me saying that he needed a big favor, well, required a big reward, right? Something unique for something unique. And so we made a trade. I'd house him here for a few days, and I got this.
So now, if we want to walk out of here with him, we can do
We
it.
gotta
No
get
more
another mustache.
trouble than this.
Well, I can't say I wouldn't be disappointed, but considering you've not only located me, you know where I live and have those blades of yours, I don't know that I have much in the way of leverage. And I know when I've invested.
Uh-huh.
Seems simple enough.
Let me see what your passive. No reason. Actually, Merrick
Peepers'
and Gordon.
passive perception is 18. Hooties.
Let me write that
not
down.
Peepers. Duh.
Gordon's, I believe, is 16,
16,
and
yeah.
mine, Merrick's is only 12.
Yep, that's enough for this one, though. So, Hootie, Gordon, and Merrick. You notice more of those scorpions crawling along the walls right around the doorway where she's standing, and particularly going into that room. They seem to be like moving, and there's maybe a dozen of them, not like in a clump, but just in various states of moving towards that room in particular.
Hey, do you breed scorpions?
No, and they've been showing up more and more lately. I don't know what it is.
I ate one of them.
Oh, interesting.
They're not bad. Not good.
Yes, they've been a little bit of a nuisance, but haven't directly done anything hostile towards me. And I don't know. They've just been showing up a lot more lately.
Where do you got in that room they're going?
Oh, okay.
You're right. You're right. You're right. We're here on a job.
No, I think, Merrick, it's you got to follow your instincts. You know, they've taken us pretty far.
All right. I'm just gonna let go of the old guy. Just drop him.
He does a little bit of a scramble up against like the back wall between the two cots, and is just standing there, but quickly tries to put some distance between you and him as you let him go.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna just get Falcon to turn around, and then I'm gonna tie his hands behind his back.
Now, can I just say my piece in all this?
No, you can shut up, Falcon.
I might be
The
able
less
to
you talk, the better it's gonna be for everybody.
I'm just saying, if it's gold you're after, I can
Maybe a
top
little less saying, because I got a dirty old sock that can go right in your mouth if you like.
Kind of mutters and doesn't really say much after that.
Appreciate that attitude.
All right, you have your prisoner. You have an old man up against a wall, and you have an old elf. Seems to be attracting scorpions in a doorway.
You got like scorpion food back there or something? Like they're not supposed to be around here.
That's exactly what I've been here for quite some time, and I've seen the flora and fauna change occasionally as new species come in and out. But this, rather unique. It seems that in just maybe the past week or so, I've seen the first few, and they just keep coming. If you wouldn't mind, I think they might be interested in. Let me just go one moment. And she goes to turn and moves back into the lab, or moves back into the room that you don't know what's in there. But starts to move into the movement.
Now, hold on.
Oh, yes.
There, Nerone. Don't want to act all suspicious. I know we came into your home here in the middle of the night, and that ain't the most polite thing in the world, and I understand that. But I gotta be honest, and Merrick, you correct me if I've gotten anything wrong, but you give me, they call them the heebie-jeebies where I'm from. I find this whole kind of manner you got a little off-putting. That's it.
I understand. I have had that effect on people, and it's one of the reasons I enjoy my solitude down here as often as I do. When you're in the harvesting business, you don't make a lot of friends.
Did you say the harvesting business?
Not from any living people, mind you. I would never harm anyone, but, well, there's just so many good precursors that can be found in the recently deceased. And I want to be clear, I don't use those, but other people do. And so I trade them for things that I do need. And one of Fauchon's men facilitates the trade. And yeah, I managed to come up with some really good experiments. But I don't use the bodies myself. Either way, it's hard to make friends when you're a harvester.
Merrick, if she's going in there, I'd like you to stay real close behind. Let me get this old fella tied up too, and then we can do whatever we need to do. Sound all right?
That's all right. Yeah, I'm not dead. What is there to harvest?
All right. I'll tie up the old man while she does that.
All right, Gordon,
Or while
give him a
Merrick
hand.
does that.
Yeah, so you secure the other prisoner or the other person. And once again, he is silent throughout this, doesn't even try to make a plea, and just cooperates entirely. Meanwhile, Nerone makes her way through the doorway. And are you following her in or letting her just go get what she's going to get?
No, I'll follow her in. I'm curious where these scorpions are going.
So as you come in, you see that she has tables set up in this long room that goes much deeper than the like 15 by 15 room that you were first in. It goes much deeper. And again, you guys are very far down because you had to climb down that ladder. So you guys are deep in the ground and it goes back. But there's tables all over the room with various beakers, flasks, all sorts of strange liquids of various viscosities sort of scattered around. Some are like spilled over. It's certainly not a tidy place. Some are actively bubbling and boiling. You think you hear one maybe giving the tiniest, most subtle little shriek the whole time, just maybe it's boiling. But in the far corner, and you do notice more of these scorpions just around, sort of crawling around. But in a corner, you see in a glass dome sitting on a pedestal is looks like just a glowing rock. But covering that glass dome is scorpions just all over this dome, kind of just crawling over top of one another. And it seems that a lot of the other scorpions are sort of slowly making their way, not like beelining it, but they seem to be moving towards that back corner.
The hell's that rock?
Well, I wish I could tell you if I was being honest. It was something I got in one of my trades, and I thought it was interesting, but despite my studies, I just couldn't ascertain exactly what it might be, where it came from, what it does, but I knew it was powerful, and moreover, it seems that these creatures can recognize.
Scorpions.
Yes, they seem to be able to recognize this power.
I'd like to check the other doorway while they're in there. I'm just gonna kind of look what's down the other hall. There's only two doors in this room, right? Two other doors. Yeah.
Correct. So yeah, there's the stone entrance door and then two wooden doors on either side. So you guys went into the one together, and then there's the other one, and you open it up, and it's clearly the privy. There's just a hole dug into the ground. It's not very big. Like the room itself is not very big.
Great. Okay. I tell the old guy to get in there and then close it.
He complies, and for a moment, the look on his face, you can tell he doesn't like the idea, but he certainly doesn't voice that opposition.
Excellent.
I don't know. I'm curious as to the attraction that these creatures have, but it seems that they're drawn to power of some kind. Not my normal area of expertise. I'm more in the tincture potion variety of utilizing my gifts.
Yeah, I'm a bit more, smithing if this was metal.
Can I tell if there's any runes on the rock?
You get a little bit closer, and it is hard to see with the bugs, sort of, or scorpions. I don't know if they're arachnids, bugs, whatever. So I'm going to use them interchangeably, right?
There's something.
Yeah, these pests, I don't know. They're sort of just crawling all over, so you can't quite get a good look unless you want to sort of like brush some of them off.
Yeah, I'll just kind of like wipe them.
All right. My nat 20 here. Let me show the world.
Oh my god.
You feel a slight tink on your hands. Your scales, normally so thick and protective, seem to just be pierced. It doesn't exactly hurt, but you feel just a pinch and almost expect some sort of reaction, but nothing as you finish sweeping them off.
The bastards, one of them bit me.
No.
I ate one of them earlier, so probably revenge.
As you look in, you don't notice any runes. This rock it's not at all polished. It's very rough, coarse, very raw material, just almost like a piece of ore or something. It is pink, or the glowing light on it is pink, and it's almost hard to see the actual structure itself. The light doesn't like emit very far, but immediately around it almost just looks like a glowing orb until you kind of squint and can see the rough features underneath the light. But it doesn't appear that there's any runes, and it's certainly not, from just looking at it anyway, a material you can easily say like, oh, that's iron or something like that. There's no obvious mineral that you're familiar with that looks quite like this and would emit that kind of light.
I'd like in the other room to just turn up the lantern to really get brightness in here, and then I want to send Kyra and
Gordon.
I want to send Kyra and Gordon in there. I'm like, you go check up on Merrick, all right?
They do. As they're kind of walking in, and as you're sort of looking, some of the bugs are starting to crawl like sort of back up to the onto that glass dome. It's not a swarm or a rush, but they're slowly one or two, followed by one or two more. You do notice a few more are going up your leg, Merrick. Sort of like in the opposite direction. Instead of climbing up the table, they're climbing up you.
Oh yeah, we're not having any of that. Come on.
Just kick them off and like take a few steps back away from the rock.
Yeah, and for the most part, they seem, especially as you kick them closer towards the rock and you back away, they seem to go back in that direction. There might be a few stragglers, and again, it's never a direct beeline. They do seem to kind of wander a little bit, like they're searching or looking or taking in their surroundings, and so it's not immediate, and some are sort of in your general direction, maybe moving towards you, maybe not, moving towards the rock, maybe not, but they're just kind of meandering around the place. Nerone looks at you. Can I take a look? She's kind of pointing at your hand.
Yeah. I can't even tell where they were bit.
She looks. No, I don't think you'd probably be able to see it. She squints her eyes, and again, these youthful green eyes, they glow for a second, and then that glow subsides. I'm gonna miss you, man. She looks at you. You seemed like a really good guy, but it's as I said, easy come, easy go.
It's probably just venom, what? So it bit me with its butt.
Yeah, but, I mean, you're marked, and that's never good.
By a scorpion.
Yeah, seems to be.
The hell does that mean?
Hard to say. As I said, it's not exactly my expertise, but it does appear that you've attracted the interest of whoever these guys answer to. I mean, I would take it as a compliment. I mean, like I said, I'd take it as a compliment. They're attracted to power, so the fact that one decided to mark you must mean you're pretty powerful. So that's cool.
Okay. Well, that's neat.
All right, Merrick, we about ready to head out.
Yeah. I've been marked for power.
Well, that's good, I guess.
Yep. I don't know what it means, but maybe I'll die. Maybe I won't.
Nerone, is this all right? We can just leave?
Yes, as I said, I don't know that I have much in the way of bargaining, and it doesn't seem that you have any ill will towards me directly. If that's fair to assume, then you may absolutely leave. If I could ask a small favor, it would be to just leave me out of any stories you might tell about the encounter. I've been operating here for quite some time, and it's kind of dependent on confidentiality. I have nothing to threaten with and hold you over the head. I'm not so worried about him telling anymore, and she points to Merrick. But the rest of you, just if you could keep it on the down low.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, the rest of you haven't been marked. I don't see anything anyway, and she squints again. No, I think it's just him that'll be missed, so...
Why do you keep talking about him like he's about to die? That seems inappropriate. He's a little simple, but he's not,
I just never
I
went
mean-
to school because who needs it?
That's right,
No, me
Merrick.
neither. That's exactly... I've made that argument more than once. I've learned much more
Yeah.
down here than in any... But regardless, it just seems that someone is now going to be taking a great interest in you, and in my experience that I've gained from down here, the more interest you attract, it's the less good the outcome seems to be. It's why I try to attract as little as possible.
Well, all right, Merrick, let's do this thing and get out of here. If you're going to leave us
Yeah.
alone, I ask maybe you just stay in there while we finish our business, and we'll be out of your hair in no time.
Of course, but just one other thing. If you're going to be taking that one, would you mind taking his friend too? I don't quite know what to do with him down here. And, well, I guess I could harvest him. If you want to take him out of here, it would probably be useful. If not, I could probably find something.
I think he's
guess-
shitting right now, so.
I don't know. I don't like any of this, Merrick. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Wait, she's a harvester. Do you want the rest of his body? Like I said, we just need the head.
Oh, well, certainly if you have no use for
Wait,
the rest.
unless you had
Well-
another plan.
No. I don't know precisely who to be trading with at the moment. If you're, regardless, she kind of like looks at the vial again, then like looks in the room where he is, and I'm sure I could come up with something.
Wait, Tobin, did you have a different plan? And I just...
No,
Alright.
let's just do this. So I grab Falcon by the rope that's holding his hands together. I kick him in the back of the knees, drop him down, and then just
You
new
can
smile.
tell he takes a breath in as if he's about to protest, but you're too quick, as with one clean slice, think, right through his neck.
Oh, there we go.
God.
Okay, let's. You
Damn,
can cut through
this
the
is
bone,
nasty
right?
business. Yeah, maybe
Hey, give me here.
maybe you can do it.
Oh
Thanks.
yeah.
I'll just kind of cradle the head, just give it a few twists, and try and basically pull it up with some of the spinal column along with
Oh,
it. Like a Mortal Kombat finisher.
Yeah. Give me an athletics check or a strength check. Roll the
Alright.
dice. You can use the skill of your choice that you think
Okay.
would let's
I
see
think
how clean
athletics.
it is.
Yeah. 1 foot down on his legs just to kind of have that leverage so his lower body's pulling away. Okay. That is 14.
It starts to break off, like the tail end of the spine comes off and leaves a really like jagged pointy piece, but you get about 3/4 of the spinal column
Okay.
attached.
God,
Damn it. Wasn't perfect.
God's breath. Let's get out of here and be done.
Yeah. You can have the rest if you want.
Much obliged. And take care, I suppose. You especially.
You too. Yeah. Enjoy your weird pink scorpion rock.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All right, yeah. So we climb out. I'll leave the guy in the bathroom.
As you're
I've just got the head just right there, just pulling it along.
You begin to ascend back up that long ladder towards the surface. And when you get maybe, let's say, halfway up the ladder, you hear this enormous crash, bang, coming from the surface. You just hear these loud smashes, noises. Hard to tell what it is, but it's loud enough that you can hear it down here underneath the stone sarcophagus and the ground.
What the hell?
You think a necromancer came and started raising the entire graveyard to start some sort of undead army?
That seems like quite the assumption there, Merrick.
I don't know. I'm
Why don't we
here
just go
crashing
look
in a
and see what that
graveyard.
is?
Okay.
Yeah, so Tobin's gonna hurry up, climb in, and get to the top.
You begin scrambling with more fervor in each pull of the ladder as you hoist your way up. You get to the, eventually make your way up to the top, and as you're climbing, the noises are getting louder, and it's difficult to tell, are we getting closer? Is the sound getting closer? Maybe a bit of both. But the noise is growing, growing, growing. You reach the top. It is dark, and that stone covering is blocking any light as it has slid back into position, the sarcophagus lid.
Oh, god damn it. I'll start trying to get it out of the way. I think I've got like a crowbar in my burglar's kit.
I also have a crowbar. We can tag team this.
Yeah, we're gonna try and get that lid open.
Alrighty. One of you make me a roll with advantage. And there'll be an athletics check.
Let me try it, Merrick.
All
Let me
right.
try it. Oh, that's a 21.
Ooh.
I have a -1, but I'm proficient in athletics.
Oh
so-
my god.
At first, it's hard to find anything to latch into, but you kind of shove and make just a little indent into the stone with the crowbar. And once it gets a foothold, you're able to just use the leverage to pry, and it's scraping. The noise is louder, and it almost blocks out the as you slide that heavy stone top off of the lid. I was thinking you guys would just use the passphrase again, no problem, but instead you decided to beat my DC 20 strength check there.
Yeah,
no
Tobin,
problem.
the 3-foot tall halfling.
With Merrick
Muscling
holding the end of
through
the
it.
crowbar to help.
Yeah, just to give him that little bit of, I gotcha, that extra little oomph.
Just a little one-handed help. Yeah.
And as it's sliding, that noise, now no longer blocked by the stone, is just this loud roar coming from the city proper. And you sort of begin to make your way outside of the, off the ladder and into the mausoleum. You can't quite see anything because, again, it is dark. And even though you have dark vision, the mausoleum is blocking most of it. But you can see through that doorway of people just running in the streets, the guards, their torches just darting in directions, and flashes of lightning seem to be coming from the sky. And again, that roar, that noise, that collapse, that's something.
So roar like a voice,
Hard to
or
say,
is this
but
lightning
Damn
and
if
thunder?
it's not loud. It's hard to say.
Whatever the hell's going on over there, I think we can walk through the streets and no one's gonna give a shit.
Yeah, I reckon you're right. I say we just get a hustle on, maybe put that in a sack, and I bust out a sack for Merrick.
Right, yeah, good idea.
Is the commotion coming from the same direction and same area of the city that we have to go to?
Yes, it seems to be coming. I mean, it seems to be coming from all over, but it directly seems to be coming from the direction of the street that you guys, right, where the magistrate's manor area, very close.
Okay.
As
Well, I say
you
we go back through the way we came, just to avoid going right in front of that
Take the
manor
side
house.
streets. Yeah.
Yeah.
See if we can get a
Back in
peek
the
at what's
alleys.
going on.
as you walk out of the go ahead.
I'd like to get Hootie up in the air a little bit, so get him like 80 feet in the air and just looking around, make sure nothing's coming our way.
Yeah, he swoops through the open doorway of the mausoleum and begins to lift up to get upwards towards the sky. And you're able to see through his eyes, right? So you see this enormous blue dragon that has crash landed seemingly through the top floor of the Magistrate's Manor. This 3-foot tall building now has a dragon occupying the first floor. Its wings are beating, and it is just letting out this yelling into the night sky. Flashes of lightning, thunder begin to are just surrounding the city. It was already a moonless night, but the light is now periodically provided by these flashes of lightning. It is loud. It stops.
Yeah,
The
so
dragon-
Merrick, you see Tubin like wet himself a little bit here as he comes back to focus. Sorry, Josh, you were gonna say?
All of a sudden, it stops for a second and almost looks like it's catching its breath. And it starts to almost hiss. Does anyone speak Draconic?
Yes.
Perfect. So, Merrick, you understand as it's hissing, still very loud, but not in that same ferocious roar previously. Never unleash. Never.
The hell? You hear that?
We gotta get to stepping, Merrick.
Wait, no, that's a person.
We just gotta go, Merrick. We just gotta go.
You're saying never unleash. I mean, I get it. Do you think it's like a wizard or something?
Merrick, we got bigger things to worry about.
You're right. We gotta get the head back. You're right. All right.
I start running towards that. You know what? I'm gonna start running towards like the side of the graveyard that is furthest from the manor.
I'll take the long way around.
Yeah, and you are located towards like the back of the graveyard,
Right.
and like it was a back corner that this special mausoleum was in, and so you do have a little bit of distance, and there are other mausoleums, gravestones, that sort of thing to provide good cover as you navigate, not towards not towards the former Magistrate's Manor. And as you're making your way through the graveyard, occasionally you can't help but look back and glance towards the ferocious beast monster that is occupying the sky at the moment, or occupying such a big space. And it beats its wings and takes off into the sky once again and just lets out this lightning breath and scorches down a main street, completely just obliterating several guards. Just very... You can't quite see the devastation, but you hear the thunder crack as it hits the ground and hear just brief screams that are quickly snuffed out.
As it's flying through the sky, would Merrick finally get a glimpse of it for himself?
Yes, yeah, it's hard to miss. And again, you have the dark vision, but it is very high up. But this whole sky keeps getting illuminated with these flashes of lightning. And it's almost like a delayed strobe light effect as the dragon's there and then it's dark. And now it's over here with the next lightning flash as it's just circling and just beating its wings. And it is very large. It is gargantuan. And
Tobin,
it
what
is...
the hell? You didn't say it was a dragon.
Well, I don't normally piss myself when it's something less terrifying,
Is that what I
Merrick.
smelled?
You know what? This is not the time, Merrick.
I'm just... This explains why it's speaking Draconic.
The up and over, all right? We get doing the up and over.
Yep, let's get out of here.
I don't even know if we go back to Danelle at this point.
Yeah, let's give her the head, get her money, and get the hell out of here.
All right, let's get to stepping.
Yeah, unless you got a bunker.
Well, we just left a bunker, Merrick.
Shit, you're right.
But
Just
I
keep
don't
on
really think we ought to go back down there. Not right now.
You begin to make your way through a back alley once you've up and overed your way through the graveyard. And again, there's no worry about being quiet. It's way too noisy. The thunder, the lightning, the roaring, the screaming. You can be as loud as you want. There's not really any interest in not being seen because you know that anybody with eyes is going to have them glued to this monster taking up the sky. You can't help but be a little stealthy. It's in your DNA, but generally speed seems to be the priority, I take it.
Yeah, and also keeping
Makes
that
sense.
light like not too bright. Definitely bright enough so that we can move fast without falling on our faces, but like not bright enough to like attract the dragon.
Right. And to be clear, the dragon doesn't seem to be super honed in on anything in particular. It'll occasionally just let out big bursts of lightning. It'll occasionally swoop and maybe like crash land on another building and just letting out these roars before it takes back up to the sky and does another lap around the town. Guards are yelling. There seems to be commotion happening that you can hear throughout the city, but you don't see anything as it seems that most people have taken cover somewhere, that the streets are primarily empty, but you do hear the occasional scream.
Is the dragon saying anything else, or is it just roars and the...
Duty bound to never unleash. Protect forever.
I don't know what that thing's going on about. Something about duty bound, not letting something out. Like it was guarding something.
Yeah, okay, Merrick, but I don't see what one thing has to do with another.
I don't know. Did we do this?
What did we didn't do nothing. Kill
Did Falchion have a dragon?
I can't imagine. I
Yeah,
can't
we
imagine
know.
he'd be in the situation he
stupid.
was in if that's what he was doing. I'm
Forget I
just
said it.
making sure
I'm
that
pulling
the
at
manoir
straws.
is not big enough to, be worth this thing's attention. But it's a pretty big, I don't know. Is it going for all the big buildings? Let me send Hootie up ahead.
All right.
Hootie
Gonna have
takes
Hootie make sure that the manoir isn't being eaten by a dragon.
Yes. So yeah, you send Hootie in that direction. Hootie's fast. Hootie's smart enough not to fly up too high, and is staying not street level, but also not going up and away type high because that's where the dragon. So it's swooping like just above the rooftops throughout the city and makes its way towards the manoir, which does seem to still be intact. However, Hootie does spy just outside on the main strip, right between what used to be the House of Luxury and Leisure and the manoir, that main strip, a dark, shadowy figure slowly walking down the fairway. Doesn't seem to have any sort of urgency to its gait.
That guy's got balls of steel.
Well, what the fuck is that?
A guy.
How close are we to the manoir now?
We'll say you're a few minutes by if you were to keep up your hustle. But it's still a couple more roundy alleyways. Hootie does another like
You
lap.
can just keep an eye on that area and come back
On
and
that
tell me what
area?
he's seeing.
Yeah, so as you make your way there, sort of like tuning into what Hootie sees, seems to the figure bends down and seems to pick something up off the ground. Hootie's good. Give me a perception check for Hootie, please.
Oh yeah.
For sight.
19.
Okay, so it doesn't just pick something up off the ground. Seems to pick a scorpion up off the ground and sort of like look at it for a second. Hootie does another lap and gets a little bit closer to see just a little bit better and can make out a little bit more. This figure isn't a man per se, though it does look humanoid, but it's hard to tell what's underneath there as it's covered in these thick chains just covering its body. And when it gets a little bit closer, can see just underneath of there, it seems to be decay beneath the chains, that it's hard to make out exactly who or what this person might have been, but just a decrepit something covered in chains holding the scorpion. And it grabs onto one of these chains as it crushes that scorpion in its hand and tears the chains off. It opens its hands again and makes a gesture from the ground. A low rumble happens just in front of this figure as a large, in D&D terms, scorpion emerges from the ground, almost like it's just burrowing out. But it's not quite a normal scorpion. The top half is almost like a humanoid figure, but the legs and tail are very scorpion. So think scorpion centaur type hybrid.
So Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as the Scorpion King in The Mummy?
Very much in that vein of, yeah. But picture better CGI.
Yeah, that's what I was
whatever
about
you're
to say.
picturing, update
Yeah.
the CGI on it. But that type of physique, we'll say, with these two large claws and a large, very threatening tail behind it. And the figure rips off the chain that it was holding, and it's this long chain and begins to sort of coil up around its fist without it doing anything. And once it's in a coil, it shoves it into the claw, and the scorpion clasps its claw around it. The figure then points towards a dead body of one of the guards, and a flash of light comes out of its fingertip as the body begins to rise up. The chained man looks towards the figure and shoots another beam, this time of darkness. And the figure rises up the ground, almost like hovering, levitating, and is just covered in shadow. The shadow dissipates, and a skeletal figure clad in heavy armor and wielding this big axe. The handle of the axe seems to be made of bone, but the blades, the two blades of the axe, seem to be this very dark, black, almost purple stone, metal, hard to say, but it is strange. It's another material you can't easily place. The figure looks towards the chained man looks towards the figure, and the figure holding its axe walks over towards the scorpion and starts to climb on its back. You've now made your way. You are one street over from this scene at this point.
Wait, I'm gonna stop. And I'm gonna hold on to Merrick. Merrick, we gotta hold up just a minute. I got a new plan, and it involves getting the hell out of here. I gotta tell you, I don't want to go into detail, but suffice to say, we don't need the head. We're not gonna see Danelle. We got new business, and that business is run like hell.
Okay, well, you can't see shit, so get on my back.
You got anyone? You got anyone you need to get out of Eurosa before we go?
You?
Oh shit!
Just
I
you
owe
guys.
Danelle a little bit, man. We got to maybe make a shot at getting her out. Listen, so there's
I
something
don't even
very
know what
strange.
you're going on about, so sure.
There's something very strange in the road. I need you to follow me. We're gonna go
dragon.
in the back entrance for the man. No, even worse. Another also bad thing. I don't want to pretend I understand. We're gonna try going in the back door of the manoir, and its other hole, if you know what I'm saying. And then we're gonna try and find Danelle and get the hell out of here.
I think I actually just got it. All right. Let's do it.
There we go. There we go. All right, I'm gonna have Hootie just kind of alert me if anything is going in the alley, and we're gonna run and try and find the back entrance to the manoir. We're gonna try and rescue Danelle.
You divert your direct path towards the main entrance and start to backtrack just a little bit so you can kind of go around the other side and get in through the back entrance. You notice that
we call it the other hole now.
The other hole, right? But he doesn't want to try to use that because of like the branding that's associated with Falchion. Yeah. So you guys can call it that, but just don't let Danelle know because
that's our word.
The enemy. Yeah, exactly.
After the hostile takeover, if it's his company, then maybe.
Right, exactly. It's all some IP stuff she's got to get hammered out, but his head will probably go a long way towards convincing people she owns that now. So once you deliver it, then it becomes the other hole.
Carl's Jr. and Hardy's
tense little
coming
law
together.
right there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's your legal education for today, folks, is IP law changes a lot when you bring in severed heads. That's just fact.
That's true.
Science. Law.
What are we going to do?
Yeah. Legal science.
As you're making your way through, it does require just brief glimpses of the main fairway. And it does seem that there are just bodies of guards. Some citizens, maybe, not many, but some, littering the streets. In just brief moments, this active hostile zone where guards are just patrolling everywhere, particularly at night, is just littered with their corpses. But you make your way towards the back entrance, and it's in an alley, and it doesn't seem that there's anybody around.
I'm going in.
You make your way towards the door. You do notice as you're running, Merrick, that you are seeing more scorpions. Not the big one, but regular size like you've seen before, around. Just more and more you seem to be noticing them. But you make your way through the door, and it is locked.
The back door's locked?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a window?
Sure.
Fuck it. Okay, I'll just try and lockpick it. I'll try and get through. Is that okay?
Yeah.
That's a 20.
Yep. It pretty easy standard lock on the back door, and takes you about 6 seconds to pop it open.
All right.
So
Sword out, going in.
Yeah, let's get the hell inside.
Open the door, you see, and make your way. It's through like the kitchen area, and that is empty. But you make your way through the kitchen area towards like where the main bar is and the main area entrance type zone is. And you see that there are the guards that Danelle's people are there. All of them have their weapons drawn and are facing both the door you come in and the front entrance. They see you and say, "What the hell is going on out there?"
Whoa. We got the head. Y'all all stay watching that way. We got to go get Danelle real quick. And there's some nonsense out there. So I just think all you keep calm. Watch that door. Okay? Don't let nothing come through it.
Careful about the scorpions. They bite.
The hell are they doing here? I haven't even... Scorpions?
It's not important. Stay focused, boys.
Shit tons of them.
Folks.
Okay. Yeah.
We won't assume everybody's gender. Just keep watching that door.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Scorpions. Who knew? A lot of fuss over scorpions.
All right.
So you make your way, you ascend the staircase towards where Danelle's suite is, and all of her guards, the ones that aren't in that main room that you saw, seem to be gathered around her suite. The doors are open, and several of the guards are in there in the doorway, and you see, like, looking through Danelle, looking out her window, like looking through the window in her back office, up towards the sky, towards the ground, just shaking her head.
Danelle.
Yes.
Falcon's dead, but you got bigger problems. It's time to go.
I see that. What is going on?
Listen, we're getting out of town right now, and I owe you, so you can come along.
Well, I just
There
don't
is
know.
a dragon. There is something turning people into scorpions and scorpions into half men, half, I don't
What?
know, scorpions. And listen, Merrick, I didn't want to give you all the details, but then there's a guy coming out, he's got like a bone axe, and he's like glowing, and he's riding scorpions. There's a guy with chains. It seems like really bad news, and it's right out front, and we're going.
That actually
And the
sounds kind of
question
cool.
is, you want to, Merrick, this is not that moment.
Maybe he's here to fight the dragon.
It don't matter what he's here to do. He's killing
All right.
everybody, and I don't want to be in that list. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, all right, you make a good argument.
I don't know if he's eating the scorpions or what, but it's not a good look.
I am.
Yep.
Well, what do you propose we do? I'm not sure that we can just
Run.
walk.
Run.
Run.
You
We
run and run.
And
Do we have a
Danelle,
destination?
yeah, away from here probably.
Yep. That's
Regardless,
what I'm thinking. There's a way.
I think I'll take my payment in cash.
Fuck the money. You can't spend nothing if you're dead. Go.
Yeah, no, but I can't rule part of the city if, you know.
No city to worry about. You
I'll
worry
just
about
take it
what's
in
left
gold
after
when
he's
we
gone.
leave. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll settle the tab. I think at this point I've proven I'm good for it.
Time to go.
Yeah, let's. And she begins to walk out, and then she stops for a second, turns around, runs back to her desk, and grabs that very smooth, polished stone that she had been like manipulating when you first saw her, and she shoves it into her pocket. Yes, let's go. Let's go. You start to
All right.
descend the stairs when a loud as the door bursts off of its hinges, and this large scorpion figure with a man on his back wielding an axe reaches out and grabs one of Danelle's men, throwing the chain that the scorpion is holding. It wraps around the figure and pulls it back into the axe swinging of the man on the back, just cleaving right through his head. As he falls down, the axe glows, and the figure, bones, corpse, skeleton, just starts to slowly as it begins to rise again. The other
Holy
men
shit.
start charging towards the figure. Let's all roll some initiative.
Yeah, great.
Tobin, I was right. Army of the Dead.
Well, that's not super good.
Yeah, I got a 12, so.
I got an 11.
Oh, nice.
All right, Tobin, you're up first.
So we're like at the top of the stairs, halfway down the stairs.
We'll say you're about a quarter of the way down the stairs. We'll say.
Great.
So like you
Yep,
round
back,
the corner.
back. I'm gonna start heading up the stairs. Myself and Kyra. I'm gonna start heading up the stairs. Kyra at the top of the stairs is gonna turn and firebolt the new one. The
one that's like
one
just
that just
rising
rose?
up. Yeah.
yeah. So she's gonna give him a ye old firebolt with a 20 to hit and 10 fire damage. And Tobin is going to look for a window that goes out towards the alley, and ideally one that has like a roof. You know what I'm saying? So it's not right straight down, but instead like roof and then
Right, like a rooftop you can hop on from a higher floor down onto
Yeah.
like a one-story building or something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
It's going to be at the other end, like not Danelle's room, but if you go down, you've been in the manoir before, you kind of know the
Yeah.
layout, you've seen it from the
Going to
outside.
it and opening the window and ushering people out.
Yeah, so you run your way down the hallway, open the door, and point towards the window. And next, it is Merrick's turn.
So if everyone's kind of going the other way away from the combat, leaving those guards to their own devices.
Hey, Gord.
Yeah.
You don't happen to be able to turn into one of these things, can you?
Maybe one of the small ones, but nothing that big.
Yeah, okay, that's a little less useful. But can you talk to them when you're in a? Can you talk to animals when you're an animal?
Not normally. I mean, I can talk to animals, but not as an animal. I can talk to them better as me, but it's a whole thing I do, you know.
No, I don't know. Okay, let's just get the hell out of here.
I'm just gonna follow the others on getting out of the building.
You quickly hustle your way down the hallway and make your way towards the window that looks down upon a nearby business. It's probably about a 6-foot drop or so from the window that you're on down towards there, but it shouldn't be too difficult to make the leap and land on your feet and keep scrambling. Is that what you'd like to try to do?
Following suit with the others, yeah.
All right. Next up would normally, you hear some fighting happening, but you can't see it at this point. But you do hear just ding, 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 just all sorts of violent-y noises coming from where you last saw the scorpion monster thing. But you do manage to get to the window, open it, and everybody give me athletics checks as you try to make your jump, or athletics. Athletics or acrobatics, I'm sorry.
That's a nat 20 for a 27.
Some high rolls tonight.
I think this is my second nat 20 on athletics this session, so that's not bad.
Yeah.
You're
muted.
That's a 13 for Tobin.
All right, you succeed.
Okay. Roll for the retainers.
Yeah, roll for the retainers. It's a DC 12.
Oh,
thank God. Okay.
Kyra makes it.
Gordon gets a 13.
Yeah, 14
and you're
for
bringing
Kyra.
Danelle's gonna come with you. Yep, let me roll for Danelle. Danelle got a nat 20, my second nat 20 of the night. That the
first one was against me.
Right. But she adrenaline coursing through her. She makes a leap and successfully makes it to the other side with the rest of you. You quickly, almost by habit, look just to take status, and you do see that dragon still circling around the city, letting off periodic breaths of lightning towards the ground. You also see that the streets no longer seem quite as littered with bodies as they once were. There are still some here and there, but not the massacre that you saw only moments ago when you were last occupying the streets.
Hey, Tobin, do you think when she was saying I've been marked, do you think it was like the gift of prophecy or something? Army of the Dead was kind of a joke. Just, graveyard. Yeah. Those corpses are gone.
Let's hope not, but just in case, what direction do you think we ought to go? And while he's doing that, Tobin's eyes are going to roll up into his skull, and he's going to look through Hootie's eyes.
Where is Hootie?
So Hootie's going to be outside flying around, looking at what's going on.
Yeah, Hootie does a quick lap and looks down and sees that chained figure very nonchalantly walking down the streets and periodically just pointing at the bodies of these dead guards and watching as they rise up and then sort of just disperse. He's moving through, and as he's doing this, we're gonna cut to a break.
Oh, nice.
And
awesome.
So yes, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes, and we'll see what sort of havoc we have left for poor Eurosa and our party.
Oh boy.
Awesome.
All right, we'll see you soon.
See you, folks. And we're officially live once again. And we're even at the point where people can hear you. Can y'all make some noise?
Yes, I can.
Boom.
Yes.
Nice.
Perfect.
Welcome back, everyone, for part 2 of episode 2 of our mini-series, Chains of Tyranny. Just want to give a quick thank you to everybody watching. If you like what we're doing here, and we really hope you do, go ahead and click any little buttons that might say that, hey, I like this and would like to see more of this, and for like other people to see that. Any button that says anything along those lines, click it if you haven't already. And if you like what we're doing here, make sure you come back every Saturday from 8:30 to 11:30 Central Time, right here where you can catch all sorts of goodness on Heroes Die. We'll probably have another week or two of this mini-series, and then we'll be jumping back into our Best Left Buried campaign. But right now, we're going to continue with Chains of Tyranny, episode 2.
Before we go back to that, Josh, when can people find us?
They can find us from 8:30 to 11:30 every Saturday, Central Time, every Saturday, right here.
Here? On
Here.
Twitch?
Twitch.
What?
Yep. Wherever you're hearing this, come back to this spot. If it's YouTube, then you can find us whenever, right? You can find us whenever. We have all sorts of hours and hours of fun content. So if you're just finding us, watch us. But yeah, you can find us live if you want to engage with us and talk with other people about the show as it's happening in real time. Check out Twitch, 8:30 to 11:30 Central Time. Say hi in chat. Say hi in our Discord. Join us on social media. We might be throwing all sorts of links in the chat right now where you're seeing this. Click them. Yeah. Click all of them. And then click the little happy buttons on that site too. Just keep it going and just encourage this so we can keep bringing you all this fun and excitement.
Yeah, press buttons. That's the important thing.
That's what we're here for, right?
I like pressing buttons.
That's it. Who doesn't, right? I think that if they replaced all of the like, follow, share buttons with just big red circles, don't even say what they do, so many more people would start clicking them. So
I would.
Yeah. Any of the UI designers out there, consider it. Stop labeling buttons. Just make them flashy and red and see what happens. You're welcome.
Yeah, free tips from Josh.
Yeah.
There we go.
Folks at Heroes Die Show.
Right, that's yours. That's free. So our story so far has taken us. Our crew was tasked with finding the head of a man named Fouchen, a crime boss, and had tracked him down into a mausoleum or some sort of bunker underneath a mausoleum, where he seemed to be sleeping. They burst in, awakening him and his companion, and attracting the resident of the bunker's attention, a woman named Nerone, an old elf woman with very bright eyes. After a brief discussion, it seemed that Nerone didn't have any particular interest in Fouchen and seemed happy enough to just let the party leave with his head in tow. But after a brief discussion and maybe a little bit of curiosity, they did take a peek into her laboratory, where they saw a strange stone, glowing pink rock underneath a glass dome that seemed to be attracting the scorpions that they had been seeing throughout the town. During the interaction, or just get a better look at the stone, Merrick attempted to brush some off, and with a very fortunate or unfortunate roll, depending on how you would like to look at it, one of them did seem to sting him with their stinger. Nerone seemed to think that didn't bode well for Merrick, but wasn't too keen or just didn't really seem to elaborate in any sort of useful way. But having their prize intact and in tow, they beheaded Fouchen, taking his head and most of his spinal column with them as they left the companion and the rest of Fouchen with Nerone. But as they were ascending back towards the surface out of the bunker, they heard loud crashes, bangs, clatters coming from the surface. And when they peeked out of the mausoleum, they saw a gargantuan blue dragon had begun to terrorize the city and make short work of the packs of guards that had previously been littering the streets. With a little bit of hustle in their step, they began to make their way back towards the manoir after briefly considering just leaving. But out of a sense of duty, respect, obligation, something, Tobin managed to convince them that it would be in their best interest to at least go and see if they could assist Danel's departure from the city. While they were making their way there, they saw more and more of these murdered guards and the dragon continuing to terrorize from overhead, breathing lightning, landing through buildings. But Hootie, scouting ahead, just outside the manoir, saw a strange chained figure grab one of the scorpions and seemingly use it to create or cast a spell to summon this very large scorpion creature with the upper body of a man and the lower part of a scorpion and sort of a centaur, Dwayne the Rock Johnson, Scorpion King sort of way.
Can we say Scorptar? Scorpiatar?
Scorpiatar? Yeah.
Scorpiatar?
Or a
Scorpiatar
sentient?
it is.
What?
Or a sentient?
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
I'd do either.
I don't know which part of centaur means horse.
I don't either. I have no idea.
I know what sounds fun to me, but
That's true. A scorptar?
Scorptar it is.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Scorptar? Yep. Created a
Yes.
Scorptar.
He created a Scorptar, and along with a rider for the Scorptar, a metal-clad skeleton wielding a great axe, the handle bone, the blade, a dark material of indeterminate origin. And avoiding that, they decided, hey, let's try the back door instead of walking right past this mess. And making quick work of the lock of the back door, they came in and were quickly rushed up to see Danelle, who seemed interested in leaving the city as soon as possible, considering what she was watching out of her window. As they began to leave together, the Scorptar burst through the front door and began to engage with the guards, wrapping its metal chain, a gift from the chained man, using it as a weapon to pull one of the guards towards the blade of the rider, who made very short work of the guard and then began to resurrect the body of it. The party said, hey, let's not go that direction. Let's jump out of a window and get out that way.
The ye old nope strategy.
Yes, exactly. Precisely. And after shooting a firebolt towards the resurrected corpse, everybody seemed to have very little trouble jumping from the window onto a nearby rooftop. As they go to, Hootie then was sent to go and survey the surroundings. And I think that's where we left off. Is there any other details? Anything else?
I think Merrick was put in charge of picking a direction. Being
Yes.
familiar with the terrain, what would be the most expedient way to get away from the city? Is there like a river? Like, what would be the quickest mode of transportation without having horses?
Yeah, I will defer the surroundings to the primary GM. 'Cause I'm not super familiar with the surrounding areas. So if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, so
Jason.
it's hills and stuff to the north. It's plains where this is at. So hills to the north. If you go east, you're heading towards the capital. If you go west, you're heading towards deeper wilderness. North is hills and wilderness. And south is towards the another big dwarven city.
I think going deeper into the wilderness might not be a bad idea. Civilization is probably going to be where these things are centered. So Merrick's just going to start leading the party out west.
Yeah, you get a quick second to get your bearings and make sure. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, now, Merrick, what I'd suggest is we find ourselves a stable as quick as possible, and we just find ourselves some horses. I feel like this is a moment where the usual property laws are about to break down in a fairly significant fashion.
I guess that makes sense. There's a lot of wilderness, though. Horses are only going to be good on the road.
Or I feel like horses are still good just to get as far as possible from.
Just far down the road before we get out into the nowhere. All right. As long as we don't have to keep going there. I mean, hey, there's a lot of scorpions. They might have eaten the horses, but we can take a look.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they eat horses.
It could. That's not an unreasonable supposition.
They're eating guys, so.
Yep.
And as you look down, you do see that there is a pair of scorpions up here on the roof near you, Merrick.
I'm definitely
Shit.
squishing them.
Yeah, no problem. Just the satisfying crunch underneath your boot.
Which way are
Merrick,
the
you got to quit it
stables?
with these things.
I'm not doing it. They're just here.
Yes, and so the stables would be not like on the opposite side of town, but it's deeper end of the town, essentially. So you'd have to go in, get the stables, and then you would be able to come back out.
I think the stables are back into that mess.
Well, I say we move quick and we just stay clear of all that nonsense as much as we can.
Yeah, I don't think we can if we go into the stables. I think that's in the thick of things.
These little legs don't take me that far, Merrick.
Get on my back, I can run for hours. Oh, Gord, you can be a horse or something, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Give you something bigger?
No, unfortunately, that's about my limit. I
All
could
right.
carry one of you, but I don't know about all of you.
We got, well, I don't know, Danelle, you got thoughts?
I just want to get out of here. I mean, safely, quickly, however, let's think of something quickly.
Listen, I say we get horses, we hit the safe house, we get some supplies, and we get out of here. We'd be quick about it.
All right.
All right. Hootie has done another lap and sees that the chained figure is moving and seemingly resurrecting the bodies of the guards that are in the streets. As you go to you channel it once more to try to say, hey, Hootie, we're coming back this way. What do you see? Sees that chained figure, and the dragon kind of turns its head and does a double take towards the chained man, seeing the chained man, and lets out another big beam of lightning in the direction of the chained man. The flash from that blinds Hootie temporarily, as it's been so dark, and Hootie's eyes are more adjusted to a lack of light. So for a quick instant, there's nothing but that flash of lightning. And as it almost immediately subsides, the chained man is no longer standing there, but you see several ethereal shimmers go out in various directions around, away from the impact site of that breath, but the chained man is no longer standing there. The dragon hisses again. Unfortunately, you do not speak Draconic.
Yeah, let's get to stepping, Merrick. All y'all
right.
follow me. I'm gonna try and have Hootie give a relatively safe, although more direct than safe, path to the stables.
All right, we're going to do a skills challenge as you navigate your way from rooftop to stables. So it's going to be DC 15 is the starting, and it's going to require 4 successes, but the downside is it's only 2 failures. So it's a 4 and 2 split, DC 15 baseline. You can go in any order. And I would like for you to include your companions. They would roll separately Their baseline stats are 10. They can have proficiency in up to 3 skills, so it'll give them a +3. And then each of them has a +1 con modifier, though I don't know that there's any con checks you'll be making, as well as +3 in whatever their primary stat is. So for Gordon, that'll be wisdom, and for Kyra, that's charisma.
Okay.
But I would like for them to make, rather than give you advantage, they're going to make their own checks. But you can go in any order. I would ask that you do 1, 1, 1, 1. So like alternate rather than how we've been doing initiative, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Got it. All right. Cool. Do you mind if Tobin starts off?
Go for it.
All right, so Tobin's getting up ahead, so he's leading the way with Hootie providing air cover, and he's gonna try and so there's that scorpion thing out in the street. There's a scorpion thing out in the street, and so he's gonna try and like dart across the street, but stealthily, to keep from being noticed. Okay.
So yeah, that'll be 15 DC.
Yeah, oh yeah. So that's a 4 and up. Fuck. And that's a 2.
Starting out strong.
Yeah.
You go to dart across and you're trying to help as usher everybody else through. But almost without thinking, as Kyra stumbles, you say, "Quick!" And it seems that almost impulsively you let that out. And the scorpion starts to turn and isn't making any sudden movements, but you can tell that it's starting to turn in that direction as you usher the last Kyra. And so now you're all collectively on the opposite side of the street in the alley, but the scorpion does seem at least heard something.
Ooh. I would like to take one of my... I don't know why I bought so many of them. One of my several bags of caltrops and throw them as hard as I can to the other part of the main thoroughfare to pull the scorpion's attention away from our direction.
Yeah, give me, you can either make an attack roll with them, or you can give me a sleight of hand to throw them where you want them to be and make up the adequate amount of noise.
I will do sleight of hand, as with one of my runes gives me advantage on those.
Yeah, there you go.
That is... Come on, roll better for the second one. That's a 10.
As you throw the caltrop, it lands where you want. Unfortunately, the scorpion had turned around in time to see the toss and traced like its eyes and the figure that's riding on it. You see them both kind of shift in the direction where it was thrown from, and they begin to move towards you. Let's all roll some initiative.
Yeah, we're fighting the scorpion guy. I'm not happy about it, but I get it.
Ooh, where were you? Where were you like 5 seconds ago? Nat 20 for initiative for a 22.
You beat me. I got a 12.
Oh.
And I got, let's see. Sorry. Oh, yep. All right. So it's going to be, what was your rolls again?
22.
And 12.
Okay, so it's going to be Merrick, then Tobin, then Monsters.
Phew. All right, good enough.
Alrighty, so Merrick, you are up, and let's get some fight music.
Ooh.
Sorry, let me do that. Yep.
Sorry. But it does add that something extra. Here's where you can see it live, folks. See the difference.
So, I think I'll have Gordon go first. And I think he'd wild shape into a horse.
All right.
And offer his back to Danelle.
Yeah, she quickly climbs on. She's used to horseback riding. Clearly, she has some experience that she quickly says, "Thank you so much," and hops on to Gordon's back.
And Gordon, I feel like he's a little bit out for himself. He doesn't want any part in this. He's gonna ride off into the sunset.
Yeah, he just starts taking off through the alleyway with Danelle on his back and in his current wild
direction.
shape.
Yeah, in the direction that we're
Right,
planning to
like,
head once
yeah.
we're out of the city, so he can kind of meet us if we catch up to him.
Oh, he's not going towards the stable. He's going like, I'm gonna head towards the west or the wilderness or whatever. Okay,
basically
got it,
down the road. Yeah, because he doesn't need a horse. He is a horse.
Right. Yeah, what is he gonna do? So yeah, him and Danelle take off and start
That's why
running.
we only need 3. What kind of action would it be for me to just start pouring oil all over myself? I have 10 flasks of oil. Can I just start pouring oil on my body?
Yeah, I think that would just be like a use action or use item action. That would just be to pull them out, uncork them, and just start.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
you are now covered in oil.
Perfect. And that was my action. All right. I will bonus action Giant Smite. So just my oiled up self, I just grow to be that 14, 15 feet tall. And that's action, bonus action. I will stand interposing between the party behind me and the scorpion in front.
Yeah, you're squaring up. Absolutely.
Squaring up. Just turn back to Tobin.
In a few seconds, I think we're gonna have to do Operation Burning Man.
You know, you know best, Merrick. You know best. And so Tobin is going to try and duck down behind some trash. And do a bonus action hide.
Yep, go ahead and roll me your stealth, please.
Yeah, where was that roll before? So 20 total on the stealth.
Got
Anything
it.
over a 4 and up is all I needed.
I know, right?
An 80% chance of success.
That's why we roll dice.
All right, got it. Now, I want to pop out of hiding, and I want to shoot this scorpion with a arrow.
Got it. Yep, go ahead and roll with advantage.
All right, you you Scorptar,
Scorptar.
son of a bitch.
And are you shooting the scorpion or the rider? Scorptar, right?
Scorptar, yeah, Scorptar.
Okay.
Well, the scorpion has a person on the front, right?
Like on its back.
But it also has like a Dwayne the Rock Johnson body.
It's a man
Right,
riding
so-
a man
Yeah.
being.
Exactly.
Right.
It has it's not like a full-sized person because it's only like probably the upper part of the torso up. So it's not even
Yeah.
like a full torso. So it's like a little person.
Doesn't even have
and
the
then-
abs.
It's
Yeah,
more
exactly.
like a drider
Yes,
Yeah.
it's drider,
or
but
a
with
skider.
a stinger tail. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that is a 23 to hit.
Hit.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. All right. Suck arrow, nerd. That is 15 damage, but wait, there's more. That is 20 points of damage as the arrow sinks deep into that son of a gun.
Yes, the arrow pierces through the hard exterior of the Scorptar and is sticking out proudly, and some ooze seems to be coming out.
Great. That's a 22 to hit for Kyra's firebolt that goes shooting out as she blows that out. But as she does it, there's like a surge of energy around her, like the reality seems to warp, and she's gonna roll on the wild magic table.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, so that is a 71. Let's see what that gets us. See what sort of... she gains resistance to all damage for the next minute.
Oh,
Yes.
So
hell
she has
yeah.
resistance to all damage.
That pulse of magic seems to coalesce around her, and you almost see like a rainbow sheen over her body as the magic sort of settles.
Nice. Yeah, nice. Awesome. Okay, that's them.
All right, and next up, the Scorptar starts to chitter and clatter its way towards the alley where it's seen you and has been hit by you at this point, and moves its way. While it's doing that, as it's moving, the figure on its back is holding its axe in one hand and begins to thrust its hand towards some nearby bodies on the ground, and in a similar motion as the chained man, it kind of beckons them as they start to rise, and a pile of 3 bodies begins to stand and become at attention, and they seem to back up their weapons as their corpses, badly burned, and from the lightning it seems that they're all sorts of charred and missing large portions of their flesh, but they are up. Meanwhile, as the Scorptar skitters towards the alley, it flings its chain, and Merrick, I believe you were right up front there.
Yes,
so,
I am.
First, let's see if it hits. What's your AC?
AC is 16, but let me know what the attack roll is, because I have some things, potentially.
Okay. The figure starts to... the Scorptar throws its chain towards your general direction, but as you just quickly back up and it hits against the corner of the wall of the alleyway, and doesn't seem to, despite your larger form, manage to get any sort of purchase with you, as it sort of like with one quick yank pulls the chain back and clutches it in its claws again. The 3 figures, the bodies that were recently resurrected, begin to take their weapons back up and then start shambling their way towards the alley. And that is their turn. So, top of the round, the party, attempting to be stealthy, was not able to avoid the gaze of this Scorptar and skeleton rider. Fortunately, they are well versed in conflict. Gordon turning into a horse and taking Danelle and attempting to run away to meet up with the rest of the party later. Meanwhile, Merrick, assuming his larger form and after dousing himself with oil, begins to prepare for what we know as Operation Burning Man, potentially. Yep. Meanwhile, Kyra, with a surge of magic resulting in a small shimmering shield type protection around her, shot some fire and connected with the Scorptar, as well as an arrow fired from a very advantageous position by Tobin seemed to have collided with the Scorptar. Meanwhile, the Scorptar thrusted its chain in Merrick's direction, but unable to connect, while the skeletal rider seems to have summoned 3 undead corpses from nearby guards to try to attack the party, which brings us back. We're going to say Gordon is, I'm assuming, just dashing, and we're going to sort of take him out of the
Pretty
mix
much.
with Danelle. Nobody's actively chasing him at the moment as he's just going down the alley. You're blocking one end, and yeah, so we're just going to say him and Danelle are gone for, they're out of sight. So it is
Hopefully
Merrick's
alive.
turn. Yeah. You don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
So, Operation Burning Man. So, big, covered in oil. I'm going to do a couple of things. So, Merrick's going to start making his way a little bit closer toward the Scorptar. And he's going to activate chromatic warding. So I guess just almost this, like a shimmer of like the slight faint red energy just wafts along the red scales of his body. As this is from the Chromatic Dragonborn. As an action, you become immune to fire damage for 1 minute.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I think I see where this is going.
Yeah. And then as my bonus action, I will activate my Eldritch Claw tattoos as just the forearm tattoos light up and his fists almost seem to get a little bit larger, a little bit more gnarly looking. And then I'm going to action surge. And we're just gonna give a little fire breath, but I would like to catch myself in my own fire breath by basically just like extending my arm out, breathing along my arm to just set myself on fire while I put this line of flame toward the skeletal rider and the scorptar.
You go up in flames. Let's see if they do.
That is a DC 14 dex save.
All right, let's see here. The skeletal rider seems to take the brunt of it as you were aiming slightly up to make sure you got like a good arc along your arm. That the rider failed, the Scorptar succeeded. Does it take half?
Yes, half on a success. So that is going to be not the greatest. 10 to the rider and only 5 to the Scorptar of fire damage. But the fire breath is just in place of one of my attacks, so I'm also going to punch the Scorptar square in the jaw.
Beautiful.
Now, I don't know if being on fire is going to help with that at all, but...
Yeah, I'll say, just for sake of ease, roll an extra d4 of fire damage.
Okay. That is going to be an 18 to hit the scorpion.
Success.
Ooh, hell yeah. All right.
You know, pretending to know what Operation Burning Man was cool. Knowing what Operation Burning Man is cooler. I really like it. Big fan.
I'm a flaming giant dragon man. Also a bright beacon in the night. That is good. Oh, and a D4 for the fire damage. There's my D4.
I was going to check. Are we nearly false dawn at this point?
Yeah, I think it's not quite here, but will be momentarily, we'll say.
Great.
I think that's maximum on everything.
Beautiful.
I just noticed, I was like, oh, I got an 8 on the D8. Okay, cool. Oh, I got a 6 on the 6. Got a 6 on the other 6. So I've got 1 D6 from Giant Smite, 1 from the Eldritch Claw tattoo, the D8 from just my normal punches, 5 from Strength, and then rolled 4 on the fire as well. So that's math. The 12, 20, 24, 29 with my Strength. 29 points in total of various damage types.
That's literally the max damage I could possibly do for the sneak attack.
And I'm gonna, do those come back on? It does. I'm also, on that one punch, they say fighters are boring.
Go Nova,
I am going
yes.
I'm going to also make this a goading attack. So I'm gonna also add another D6 for my my martial arts or my superiority die, and the scorpion's got to make a DC 15 Wisdom save. On a failure, it has disadvantage against anyone but me until the end of my next turn, and that's gonna be an additional 2 damage on top of my attack.
Got it. I can math. Okay. Yep. The scorpion charred. You think back to when you considered cooking that scorpion that you ate, and the smell coming off of this newly large and recently charred scorpion makes you think maybe that wouldn't have helped the flavor so much, because the small tiny hairs that cover the scorpion's bodies is singed, leaving this terrible odor emitting from it. But it does look badly burned. the impact that you made, a satisfying crunch as you go into its carcass and just really get in there. It's still standing, but it definitely seems worse for wear due to the damage you've inflicted on it. The rider, however, seems very undeterred, and the scorpion doesn't seem to take your goad with much mind. The creature seems to be bent on doing whatever it was bent on doing before.
I don't want to have to remind anybody again, but it's Scorptar.
Scorptar,
right.
yes.
I don't want to have to escalate the situation.
Don't make
but
me
I
say it
will.
again. That's fair. All right.
No, you're right. You're just right.
Yeah. I'm embarrassed for you, honestly.
Oh. Okay, so that's my my very overly complex for a level 5 fighter turn.
That was amazing.
Yeah, fighters just don't have options. Never. Not once.
Yeah, they can't turn into a flaming kaiju battle by level 5 without multi-classing.
So, let's talk about Tobin. All right, let's sprinkle a little Tobin on this situation. So Tobin,
Let's top it off.
again, hiding. Nice. Let's top it off. As he's hiding there behind the garbage, pops back up for another shot, and as he does, Hootie flies down and hoots right in this Scorptar's face, and flies back up, and he's gonna shoot this thing with a 23 to hit, dealing a
Success.
total of 20 damage with this arrow.
Once again, your arrow strikes true as it pierces through the hard exterior of the creature, and more ooze is just boiling out of the singe marks, the arrows. The creature still stands, but isn't quite moving with the same skittering dexterity it once did.
Kyra blowing another kiss, this time with the other hand. A fire kiss as it shoots out for 8 points of fire damage at a 22 to hit.
Success. The creature remains standing, but barely. It's looking really, really bad,
Okay.
but
Nice.
still manages to stay on its many feet.
Cool.
Is that everybody's
we're done.
turn? Okay.
Yep.
So the first thing that you face is these zombie type resurrected guards as they approach, and once again we have Merrick sort of standing point here. So the three of them sort of like begin to surround you. Let's see.
Go for it. I'm on fire.
First one swings its sword with a miss. Second one swings its sword but doesn't manage to connect. These shambling bodies just not quite as coordinated as you think they might have been in life. The third one not doing much better than its companion. I couldn't roll double digits.
Oh my
I
god.
Couldn't get double digits on the dice.
I'm not used to having an AC as low as 16. This is crazy.
The shambling bodies of the guards just not able to pierce through that hard exterior, those scales that cover your body, and particularly with the blinding fire that surrounds them, maybe not being able to aim their strikes as precise as they would prefer. Next, the scorpion throws its chain at you once again and successfully connects with you, dealing...
What was the attack roll?
It was... 19.
I'll let it hit. Why not?
Alrighty. It deals 9 piercing damage, and I'm gonna need.
Well, maybe I shouldn't have let it. That's so. And
Give me either an athletics or a acrobatics check to escape the wrapping chain.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, if it was grappling me with its own pincer, I'd probably let it because I'm on fire. That is. It's going to be a 12.
Do you roll that with advantage?
Wait, no, I have advantage because I'm Giant Smite right now.
That's right. I love
That's
Rune
way
Knights.
better. 21.
Huge fan.
Oh,
The chain
thank you for the reminder.
The chain pierces into you, the sharp barbs of the chain itself piercing through your skin, and it begins to coil but can't quite make its way around your enlarged form. And you quickly, just with one quick jerk, just shrug it out, ripping the piercer down away from you, landing on the ground as the scorpion pulls it back to it quickly.
The hell do you think you are?
The rider on the back sort of like sits upright on the Scorptar's back and looks over top of you towards where those arrows might be coming from, and sees Tobin there. And it points
I don't know
at
what
you,
you're
Tobin.
thinking, partner, but I ain't the one.
The skull head of this figure, its eye sockets vacant, look in your direction as it points to you, and its mouth doesn't move, but you hear coming from inside the skull the one word: obey. Give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Uh-oh.
Y'all missed my sarcastic comment. I'm terrible at those, so
Oh, no.
Let's hope this is the good die. 13.
Lucky 13?
You feel this
Uh-oh.
darkness come over your mind as your consciousness seemingly fades from your own from your mind. You seemingly are watching yourself almost in third person, unable to control your actions. And you see the skeletal figure kind of settle back down in its chair and grab its axe, but you are currently charmed by it, and other things may happen later. But you feel possessed, compelled to obey the dark whims of the skeletal rider. And that was Scorpion, Zombie, and Rider. So that brings us back to the top of the round. We had a magnificent performance, for lack of a better word, as Merrick, using all the tricks of his trade, just
Almost
started devastatingly punching and attacking this creature. Meanwhile, Tobin successfully, with the help of Hootie, launching another arrow and making connection, followed shortly afterwards with a fireball. The Scorptar badly injured, but still standing. Meanwhile, the skeletal figure seems to have done something to overtake the mind of Tobin, bringing us back up to Merrick.
All right. We're gonna start this off with just the second punch to the Scorptar. See if we can't finish this boy off. And that is gonna be a 23.
You have a reach with your tattoos, is that correct? Because you are surrounded by the zombies. I did forget to mention that the zombies are now.
Oh yeah.
But you
I can punch up to 15 feet away. If need
Okay,
be.
yeah. He's right behind or they are right behind the zombies, both the rider and the Scorptar.
Okay.
So yeah, if you can go at least 10 feet, you got them.
Perfect. Yeah. I'm not too concerned about the zombies. And then that's going to be, I don't need that one. A lot of dice here for one punch. That is 10, 14, 17, 23 points of damage in total.
That'll do it. Or go ahead and describe how you finish cooking this scorpion here. Scorptar. My mistake.
Yeah. He doesn't want to remind us again.
No, he didn't need to. I want to make a note. He did not need to remind me.
Exactly. So winding up for a left hook, just the fist doesn't quite reach, but almost this flaming after image of the fist, almost this like spectral version, reaches out from the hand, kind of like one of those, like a rocket punch almost, and just decks the skeleton, not the skeleton, the scorpion, Scorptar, in the side of the face before just another uppercut, just right under the jaw, just maybe just smushing in the head of the humanoid portion of it.
It has a very similar satisfying crunch as when you've stepped on them or eaten them, but it's just a bigger version of it, essentially. But it feels that similar, just as its head just collapses as your fist tears through it.
Beautiful.
The rider falls down from the scorpion. As the scorpion sort of falls over, so does the rider.
Falls prone?
Currently, well, we're going to find out. It is not. Falls down, but quickly is able to get up at the last second before the scorpion actually pins it to the ground with its weight, but is on its feet.
That's okay. I'm not too worried about the zombie boys in front of me, so I'm gonna, with my second punch, jeez, I'm just gonna punch the skeleton.
Do it.
Yeah, and that, I don't know if you want me to take the accidental dice drop roll or if you want me to re-roll.
Your call. Your call.
Okay, I mean because it landed on a natural 19, so I mean
that's fine. We'll take it. Yeah, that's fine.
So that's a 27.
Hit.
Perfect. So that is a -1 die there because Giant Smite is only on 1 attack per turn. That is going to be 9, 10, 15 points of damaggio to the skeleton unless he's resistant or anything to fire and or force or bludgeoning. Magical.
No, it seems that all of those things operate as you would expect. You said it was 15, is that right?
15.
Alrighty, and
just a punch square in the chest with this just after image flaming fist.
And you notice as the skeleton's skull kind of like rattles back, your consciousness regains as you seem once again in control of your body.
Tarnation, that was unpleasant.
Merrick, none the wiser that any of that was going on.
Yeah, you didn't see what was happening behind your back.
Too busy punching the Scorptar. That, I think, I've got a bonus action. Do I have anything I can do with my bonus action? Not anything useful. So I'm good. That's me.
All right, I think Merrick, you are up, or / Kyra, or I'm sorry,
I think you mean it's Tobin's turn.
Tobin / Kyra.
It's Tobin time.
Tobin is climbing up over that barrel that he was hiding behind. Gets up, gets a shot on that there skeleton, and hits it with a 24.
Yes, it does.
And I don't know if this is Southern or if it's Foghorn Leghorn, but we're gonna go with it for a bit. And that is 17 damage for that shot.
Got it. It connects and manages to get from your upward angle, go downward. Despite the heavy armor that is on there, you manage to go through, and it pierces through into the skeletal rider guy.
Kyra's gonna shoot a firebolt, but that's a 14 to hit.
Kyra launches the flame from her hand, and that's right. And the skeleton holds its axe up in the way, and the fire seems to hit that dark material that makes up its blades, but almost use it as a shield, and it seems to absorb the fire.
Nice.
Causing no damage to the creature.
Nice. And then Tobin is going to drop down behind the barrel and get out of sight.
Sure. Are you taking the hide or bonus action hide? Nope, just out of sight.
Actually, yeah, why not? Well, I'll do it. Yeah. There's no reason not to. Give me a bonus action hide behind some other garbage. Oh, sorry, that was not with advantage. Let me try that again. That's a 22.
Yeah, you're used to hiding in random alleys behind trash. You feel like this is a good one. You feel pretty confident that guy is distracted by a lot of other stuff and didn't see where you went. But who's not distracted are a bunch of mindless zombies. As let's see if I can roll anything decent with each swing.
You can certainly try.
I can certainly try. First one was a nat 1.
Beautiful.
Let's see. This one's a little bit better. Not good enough. And third one. Nope. I got a 1, a 7, and an 8. This is the dice I got the nat 20 on twice so far, and then it's out of juice.
Kara's got a plan for him this time.
Every time I've got low AC, I don't get hit. I don't understand this. Is 16 the magic number for tanking?
It must be, but I am switching d20s, so fair warning.
Please don't.
This one might be the angry one today.
Okay, that's fine.
Wait, you have a 16 AC?
I only have 16, yeah.
Nice. Tobin has a better AC than you.
Nice. Because I'm just in... Wait a minute. Breastplate. Isn't that supposed to be 16 plus dex?
I think it's 14 up to 2.
Yeah. But...
I'll look it up.
Okay.
No, it's 14 plus 2. Yeah, no, it is just 16. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it didn't matter. They still didn't hit.
Yeah.
they missed entirely.
I get hit more with 20 AC than I ever do with 16, apparently.
The skeletal figure is going to he's just going to take a slash with his axe, but before he does so, he kind of just grabs one of the zombies and just like shoves them out of the way. And as they sort of make room, he steps forward. So now he's right in front of you, and he's going to swing with my new D20. Let's see.
Please crit me.
Nope, it's a 1. Another 1.
Wow.
I don't know. And what's even worse is that the dice I switched to, it literally says "fuck me" when I get a 1, and
I mean, yeah,
it's just perfect. It said what we're all thinking here.
Damn. Yeah. Wow.
But swings his axe, but due to your increased size and despite the force it seems to have behind it, it just clashes into your breastplate and doesn't manage to pierce through your just mass that you are at the moment.
Where'd you buy that axe?
And
the
it's
shit
going
axe
to
store?
take another swing, this time with a hit. There we go.
Oh. Now, is it a hit on me, though?
It got to beat a 16. It beat a 16. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, no. So I'm gonna use the cloud rune. I'm gonna activate that as a reaction. So the zombie that he just shoved out of the way. There's basically just where the axe is going to connect with me, just this plume of smoke. As there's another plume of smoke right behind that zombie that got pushed out of the way. As the axe basically portals, and the attack hits the zombie instead.
All right, let's see how that zombie fares. Ooh. The zombie is hit solidly, although it is still alive. It's looking like it would be bloodied if it had blood, but it is still up. And the skeletal figure sort of redirects its attention and focuses back on you. But if it had eyebrows, one would be raised in a very inquisitive manner of what just happened. But it doesn't, so it doesn't. Yes, so I think that's the end of the round because you killed my Scorptar. Yes, back at the top of the round, once again in a display of just ferocious power, Merrick made quick work of the Scorptar with a punch and connected with a punch to the, or did not connect with the Skeletal Rider. However, the Skeletal Rider did receive No, wait, you did. You
did.
did.
He
I
hit
made him
Yeah,
fail his
that's right.
concentration check.
Yep,
yeah.
exactly. Which allowed Tobin to regain his composure and control over his faculties, and was quickly followed up with a arrow from Tobin that managed to sneak past the defenses, and shortly followed by a burst of fire. The creature, the zombies, still not used to their new form, I suppose, just could not manage to make any sort of connection with.
It's just a little guy.
Yeah, they just weren't able to do much, but they tried. Okay. Similarly, the first strike from the skeletal figure did not make a connection. When he finally felt like he had his shot lined up and swung his axe for his second strike, some shenanigans occurred, causing him to connect, but not with the target he wanted, as his great axe slashed into one of his own companion zombies, bringing us back to the top of the round with Merrick.
This is why you don't mess with a runesmith.
And I'm just basically bringing my hand down on top of the skeleton man's head. With the full force of a flaming giant. That is going to be a 25 to hit.
Success.
For a not great damage roll. That is 15 points of Dimaggio.
Got it.
As I think. No, I don't know if I'd be able to. If I were to grapple him, that wouldn't let me just chuck him on a subsequent turn, would it?
Yeah, I think you could throw him. I think you could throw him if you grapple him.
Okay. I think for my second attack, I might just do that.
All right.
I might pick him up like a little doll, little action figure.
All right. Give me a grapple.
Ooh, that is 24.
I thought I did really good with my 22, but he's hard to get a hold of. But with your large claw that you now have, you can kind of just and manage to make it so no matter how much he might squirm and how much his bones might rattle, you can sort of get your arms or hand around him, or at least one hand, and you kind of have him by the top of his armor there, and you're holding him closely and tightly.
Get the horses. I can deal with this one.
That's
Cool.
Me. Yeah.
So Tobin, before running off after the horses, I got you, partner, is going to do one more shot on this skeletal figure. That is a 22 to hit.
Success.
And that is a total of 13 piercing damage.
I take it back. I'm going to say that because of where you'll have to spend, if you want a clean shot, you're going to need to spend some of your movement at least getting up, because right now, where Merrick is, he's blocking and would provide cover. But if you want to spend some of your movement climbing up on some rubbish that's in the alley, but you'll be able to get less far with your run away towards the horses. But yeah, we can. So yeah, you climb up, make the shot, and succeed. And how much damage was that? Sorry.
13 piercing damage.
Got it. Yep. You from the angle that you're at, you can launch it, and it goes right in his eye socket. There's nothing squishy in there, or nothing that makes a really good noise, but it seems to affect the creature, who is in a bad position right now.
Yeah, so Tobin's going to run to the back of the alley, the other way, right, and look left and right and just make sure that they've got a clear path. And while he's waiting there, Kyra's going to run up to where Merrick is with the zombies around him and the guy in his hands, and she just pulls out of her chest and fans her hands out, and as she does so, she's going to let out a burning hands.
All right.
Beautiful. perfect
So
time.
she's going to Burning Hands with everybody around Merrick. Well, however many she can get in a 15-foot radius. Try to get as many of them as possible.
Immune to fire, is that correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a DC 14 deck save, and that does 11 fire damage.
And it's a half on save?
Correct.
The one zombie that had previously been struck by its master just incinerates. The flames burning through pure bone and whatever flesh is left on this creature. But it makes short work of it. The other two zombies seem greatly affected and less capable than they once were, but still standing. And the creature, the skeletal figure, the rider, being slightly shielded almost by a flame retardant Merrick, seems to avoid the worst of this, but still is singed by some of the excess flames on the side there. And yeah. And that's both of your turns. Is that right? The skeletal figure is going to try to break out of your grapple.
I believe. Wait, is that my turn or his turn? I think he's also maybe going to take a little bit of damage, but I will also roll against that grapple while I look. That is going to be... It's going to have to beat a 25.
24. So he's squirming and almost gets away from you, and you just grip one hard time and just keep him firmly in your grasp. And
oh no, it's on my turn. If he's still grappled, he takes a D4 bludgeoning at the start of my turn.
Okay, so he's still okay.
Any fire damage from you? From you being on fire?
Oh yeah, I guess you are on fire this whole time.
I'm in contact with him.
Yeah, we'll say it'll be at the start of the grappled creature's turn. You can roll another 1d4 of fire damage. So you can go ahead and roll that now.
Excellent. That is 2 points of fire damage.
Yeah, it's just as you re-grip as he tries to go in, more of that fire starts to singe underneath of his skull. The vacant eye sockets light up as just an ominous light starts to form and grow. And the zombies, the two remaining zombies, seem to become much more composed, and they seem more focused as one of them is going to swing at you. There we go. We go. Now I can play the game.
They've become competent.
4. First one strikes you with its sword for 9 damage.
Ooh.
9 piercing.
Okay.
And the second one swings at you. But despite the ferocity, it not wanting to hit its master, and you kind of use the skeletal figure as a shield, and it quickly stops right before it finishes its swing and doesn't manage to connect. And that brings us back up to the top of the round. Just as a quick recap, we had some more devastating blows to our friend, the skeletal rider, followed quickly by grappling him, grabbing him right by that plate armor that he's wearing, and holding him in place, and continually having that fire just emanating from Merrick's body singe the creature. Tobin, finding a good spot to maneuver around his companion, fired and connected with the figure before running at Merrick's direction towards the horses, starting to play lookout into the main street from the alley that they're occupying. And the skeletal figure skeletal figure, unable to get out of the grasp of Merrick, did seem to empower its zombie companions. And they were able to, one of them was able to strike Merrick with his sword, the other one deterred. And it is Merrick's turn once again.
Okay. Well, this is going to be nice and simple. I was thinking of throwing him. However, it's more fun to just crush him.
Pound him into the ground, Thor style.
Absolutely.
Hulk style.
The Hulk, yeah. So I think that's going to be...
love this.
That's going to be my thing. I want to try, while having him grappled, to basically just start crushing him with one hand and just pummeling him with the other. Just beat him till he's bone dust.
Do it.
That is going to be a 27.
Success.
A beautiful. Punch the boy. Okay, half decent. Let's see, 10, 12, 17 points of damage for the first punch. This is just basically holding him and just kind of punching just straight down into his head, just trying to cave the skull into the rib cage itself.
And the bones are beginning to crack with each force that you put on him. Just it's still, you can tell that there's still something animating this creature, but the physical form is quickly losing its durability.
You know what makes undead like you pathetic? You can't even fill out the armor you're wearing properly.
I'm just going to try and grab its skull and just start pulling as like my other unarmed strike.
Yep. Beautiful.
A lot of beheading. It's kind of just becoming his thing recently. That is going to be a 24.
We all have our kinks, you know.
Hey, don't kink shame. He likes getting head.
It's an actual crime not to be awarded inspiration for that. I'm just going to say it.
Oh, man, I'm really bad at awarding inspiration, apparently. I don't think I've done it once, and there's a million good ones. So both of you have inspiration starting now for past moments that have earned it.
Perfect. That's going to be also 17 points of damage as I'm trying to pull this guy's head off.
And you rip the head, getting more than 3/4 of the spinal column.
Oh my god, I didn't think that would finish him off.
The figure goes limp, and just as you're about to release your grasp, you feel it go rigid again. And despite the head being in your hand, spinal column attached, it still seems that there's at least a wisp of life left in this creature.
Oh, that's messed up.
I'm going to bonus action. I'm going to second wind because taking a couple.
Oh, does it take one? Was it 1d4 damage at the start of your turn? For
it does. It do take 1d4.
Start of its turn, I think. Actually,
it was 1d4 fire. At the start
it takes
of
1d4 bludgeoning at the start of mine. Yeah, so it takes 4.
4.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything added on to it. I'm pretty sure it's just the D4.
So as that wisp of life comes back into it, you just kind of jerk it real quick, and the body once again goes limp, and the bones inside the armor start to just crumble underneath of it as its form dissipates.
Oh, okay. What about the skull and spine? Does that also crumble?
I'll leave that up to you. If you would like to keep it as a souvenir, that's fine. It's detached. I think it could withstand it.
I think it'd be funny if Merrick wants it to stay.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it makes sense for it to dissipate in his grasp as he's holding his trophy, and it slips through his fingers.
You feel the sense of satisfaction at just kind of looking at your handiwork and noticing, I'm getting better at this. Like, I got more of what I was after this time, but you won't be able to prove it to anyone because there was no one there to see it except some zombies. And they also begin to crumble as their master dies.
Are you kidding me?
And that's, I think, 11 from for healing from second wind.
And with that, the combat can be concluded as the last of the zombies crumble as their master is disposed of. As the bones within the armor crumble, the zombies begin to crumble, almost becoming like a powdery dust. Similarly, the Scorptar, its corpse just laying in the alley, like in the entrance to the alleyway, also seems to begin to dissipate, but it doesn't seem to be dust that it's turning into. It's moving too strangely. And as it catches your attention, and it's the only thing that seems to be left of the violence that just occurred, you notice that it's not turning into crumbled dust. Instead, it's many, many more of those tiny scorpions as its body just seems to lose its form, and hundreds of these creatures just begin to flood through the alleyway where you're standing. And
not
with
on
that,
Kyra's watch. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Kyra decides absolutely the fuck not and pulls out another big burst of flame and is going to try and contain them. But I feel like you were about to say something before that happens.
That's fine. Give me a roll for that. That's fine. I think it's technically her turn still. So.
Is there a roll for burning hands?
Or it's a DC,
11 damage.
Right?
Yeah, they take a DC 14. It's 11 fire damage.
11. Okay.
Exact same rolls last time with different dice, different numbers, same result,
and a few hundred more targets.
Yes, the flames burst out towards this mass swarm, however you want to describe it, of all these creatures, and it does seem to fry just to a char many of them, but there are so many that it seems that it wasn't entirely as effective as she planned, and there are still hundreds of these creatures. She disposed a chunk, but not enough to really make a dent as she was hoping. As the scorpions continue to crawl, they're going up the walls, down the alleyways, and just kind of dispersing. And there's so many, it seems that they're moving slow, but you look around and they've made it pretty far, but they still kind of just seem to be pouring out of where this Scorptar used to be. And we'll find out what they do next episode.
Oh! Oh, that's very off-putting. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you all for joining us for episode 2 of Chains of Tyranny. We'll be back next week, 8:30 to 11:30 Central Time, right here on Twitch for what may be the conclusion of our Chains of Tyranny series.
We might not
Find out next week. Thanks again. Click all the little buttons. Join us on Discord. Join us on social media. Hang out with us. And we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.
See you, folks.
Bye.